What's up, YouTube fans? Today we're going to take a look at the DX9 Henry, their version of a masterpiece scale Wildrider. So this is actually an older figure. This is from 2018. I recently was looking back at my videos for DX9 because they just came out with a new line, DX9 Mini, which is their legend scale. And their first figure is going to be, I think it's a legend scale double dealer. And that caused me to look back at my reviews, and I noticed I never reviewed this guy. So I wanted to take a look at it. It's actually a pretty cool figure. It got eclipsed a little bit by the Fans Toys figure, which came out around the same time. So I never really looked at it, but let's take a look at it now. Now, they named all of these after mobsters. So Henry on the box, it actually says, "What do you mean funny? How funny how? How am I funny?" Like Joe Pesci from movie Goodfellas. Anyway, this has some pretty nice paint detail. You got nice metallic silver paint all throughout the top here. Satin red along the side. On the front you have a painted silver grille, painted metallic orange and silver lights, and then the fog lights there are painted as well. You got nice die-cast wheels with rubber tires. Those look good. On the back you've got painted yellow with translucent red, and then a painted silver muffler there. All of that looks really nice. It does roll pretty nicely due to the weight and the nice rubber wheels. You can't open the doors here. You can open up this bottom part and then just put it back, but nothing to see in there. It's filled with parts, but you can't open the doors on both sides if you want. We can also pop up the headlights like we can for the Fans Toys version as well. And it just kind of pops up and goes all the way straight up like that. Painted silver for the headlights there. That looks really good. Overall, good looking vehicle mode. You can store the weapon here, which is done in a silver plastic. There's two peg slots right here. You can put it right here, or you can put it. Next one is a little bit asymmetrical, but not too bad. And for a quick size comparison, there it is next to the MP10 Optimus Prime and a Carbot from Takara, their version of Prowl. And you can see it fits in nicely, but the same length, a little bit longer than Prowl here. Wider, obviously, but both these, all of these Carbots have been a little bit bigger, slightly bigger than the Takara, but still fits in well. I think it looks nice in the masterpiece. And there it is next to the Fans Toys version of Wildrider. And like I mentioned, I think when this guy came out, it kind of eclipsed this DX9 version because it's just so darn good looking. And I did do a versus on this, so if you're interested, you can go back and watch that. All right, now let's get this guy transformed into his robot mode, and it is a relatively fun and simple transformation. Go ahead and take the headlights, fold those down. Come to the bottom here, you can open up this tab panel from here. Open up the door sills, not the doors themselves, but this panel here, and that's only going to go up to there, so don't try to pull it all the way open. Same on that side. Then come to the roof here, and we're going to just gently pull this upwards so you can get it away from the car. It's actually a little tricky because you can pull it right off. See, like that. There's two little pegs here. You can get it off without doing that, but it's just, it comes off very easily. Right, that'll release this from here. You can pull back on the legs on this double accordion hinge. Come to the bottom, we can open up these two panels here, and on the back we're going to open up the legs and then open up these panels here, and these are just pegged into the back, and you can rotate them, pull them out and then rotate them up. And now we can take the legs and rotate them all the way down so you get that panel folded out like that. Take this foot panel, I'm going to rotate this down and then rotate the toe 90 degrees. This is on a hinge, so fold that forward and then it's going to tab in right there. Take this, tab this in right here, obviously, and then take this and tab that in. All right, so, and then you can push the hip upwards to fit it into there. All right, now I'll do the same thing on this side. All right, come to these doors here and pull down on the doors, and you can see my windshield fell off. I'm just gonna leave that off for now since it falls off very easily. Fold these windows down, come to the inside here, and these are gonna tab in right here and here. That actually makes his abs, which is kind of cool. I just thought that's a neat design they came up with. Rotate the waist 180 degrees so you get the legs in the right direction. Right, and normally this would still be here. We would rotate this, and this would end up sitting on the back just like that. Right, so the back is done. Let's take care of the hood and the arms here. So come to here, we can unpeg this from each other. We're going to unpeg this tab. We're going to unpeg this tab from here. And we can get these further apart just so you have a little more space to work. Rotate this. I'm going to take this entire arm piece, bring that down. We're going to rotate the arm so that the red piece ends up at the front, since that's his look, right? He's got the red arms. Then we're going to rotate this piece here until you get the red in the front. That's how you orient yourself. You just want to have the red pieces in the front, and you want the elbow facing to the front as well. All right, come to the bottom, you're going to rotate this down. It's going to tab in right there. Bring your hand out, fold this down, and tab it in right there. And this panel is just going to sit on the back of the arm on top of that tire. All right, so I'll do this one, and then last couple steps here, you're going to bring up the head on this panel, bring this up, rotate that down. That's going to hold the head down into this area. And then you can bring that back down. Rotate the head around, open up the head, bring down the ears, and then close that back up. All right, and there is Henry in his robot mode. And it's a pretty good looking robot. You got some nice red paint there, and you can notice the head is a little bit of a bobblehead. It's due to the pin. The head itself, the movement is nice and tight, but it's just the pin that the neck is sitting on. But the face looks pretty good. It's got red paint with purple eyes, and then gray for the helmet. Red paint along the arms, blue paint here. You do have some swirly gray plastic, which you know is one of my pet peeves. I'd rather they either paint it or just use a different color. I just can't stand when they use. You got that along the waist and the midsection here, on the knees and on the feet. But the rest of it, it's got this nice metallic silver or gray, gunmetal gray. Here's the back. Pretty clean overall. As far as robot mode, you know, not too much kibble. Yeah, overall pretty nice looking. As far as articulation, the head is on a rotating swivel, goes up to there, down to there, rotates all the way around. He can get side to side because the head is on a ball joint. So you get that as well. You can move his ears a little bit. Shoulders rotate all the way around. On this joint, they go up to there. On this joint, because of transformation, you also get this. So you get the arm way up. You get a rotation at the bicep. Double jointed knee gets you the full bend. Double jointed knee. Double jointed elbow gets a full bend. Rotation at the wrist. You have individual pointer finger, but it's curled, so that doesn't do you any good. The thumb is on a pin, but that's also curled, so didn't really need the pointer finger as a separate articulation because you can't really do much with it. Rotation at the waist, ab crunch all the way down to there. Pretty nice. For the legs, they'll go up to there. You do have a drop-down hinge here for transformation, so you can actually get it higher if you bring it down on the drop-down. A little bit on the loose side, some of the joints here and there. Specifically, you know, this leg can be a little bit on the loose side. And I do see a screw there, so I can probably tighten that up. But it goes back to there, out to the side. Rotation's a little bit loose as well, but rotation around the thigh. You have a single jointed knee gets you 90 degrees. You have ankle tilt It's on a ball joint, so you get every direction. Back and forth, side to side, and a rotation, pretty much anything you'd want out of that angle. As far as accessories, no frills, just the gun here. So if you fold down on that handle, you can get the tab, which typical Masterpiece style, that'll tab into his hand. And then close up those fingers, and there you go. Nice looking gun. But just, yeah, no extra faces or anything like that. There you go for size comparisons with the Magic Square Optimus Prime and the Takara Tomy version of Blue Streak. And you can see he's a pretty big bot. I mean, he's still shorter than Optimus, but towers over the other Carbots from Masterpiece line. And one more comparison, there it is next to the Fans Toys version of Wildrider, and you can see it comes in a little bit taller, the Fans Toys, but both are scaled up as far as the robot modes because they were bigger than cartoon. But yeah, I just remember how much different these guys look in terms of the paint and the overall just premium finish. But like I said, if you're interested, you can watch the Versus video that I made back then. So final recommendations on the DX9 Henry. I'm going to give this a 4 out of 5. I'm going to recommend it. I really like this figure. It's good in vehicle mode. It does all the things it needs to do. The doors open, the headlights pop up, it can store the weapon. And it works in robot mode too. The transformation is fun and intuitive. It does all the posing or articulation that I'd expected to do, and it has the requisite gun. I think where this is kind of missing is just that premium finish, right? Just not quite there in terms of being a premium Masterpiece toy. And that's where it got eclipsed a little bit by Fans Toys, because Fans Toys came out around the same time. I can't remember if it was before or after. And even though this was a very good toy, it sort of got forgotten because the Fans Toys came, and that was a really phenomenal figure. But if you can find this guy, I do recommend it. It's a pretty fun figure. It also works because it's, other than X-Transbots, it's the only fully combined Menasor in Masterpiece scale that we've gotten for a G1 Menasor. So that's something else to be said. Now, combined mode is very simple. There's nothing to do to transform into combined. It's basically car mode. It just sticks it on the leg. Now, I don't know if these are available anymore, and hopefully it gets reissued. DX9 has been reissuing a lot of figures lately, and maybe this is one set that they will reissue. But if you do find it, I definitely recommend it. Pick it up if you don't have a Masterpiece version of Wildrider. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.